asking you this. You guys know we're in the hotel, so I decided to like just pick up the camera and record this little video in the hotel. So I'm trying to figure out how to word this because I don't know how to say it without it sounding weird. What made you decide to marry someone outside of your own race?
It's not like it was something I actually thought about doing. Like, thought about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's more like this. I was always interested in everybody, like all different females. No matter like their color or what. As I got older, I learned was their race and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If I thought someone was pretty, I thought they were pretty. I just was always naturally just attracted to black females. Even in kindergarten, I always wanted to like color with a black female that was in my class. I didn't really care about like talking or trying to be super friends with the white girls. I didn't really care about that kind of stuff. And then as I got older, I always thought that a brown skinned girl looked prettier.
I remember the crush that you told me you had on your teacher.
Yes, my first grade teacher. Her name is Miss Thomas. She was always she was my favorite teacher that I ever had. And what's funny about it is I used to deliberately get in trouble in class just so I could go up there. She would hold my hand. Now this is like older days, not like now, but she would hold my hand and like bend my hand back and pop my hand with a ruler. But I would deliberately get in trouble
just so she could hold your hand.
Just so she could hold my hand.
Oh my God. Well, I wanted to ask you that because I get those questions a lot. And something else that I get a lot is since we've been doing YouTube, we get, I don't know if you get them, but I get the question of how do I get a white man? And I always find that question like a little weird because when Philip and I met and we got together, I was not looking for a white guy. I was looking for just someone to love me and be nice to me. And honestly, I wasn't even really looking for anyone when Philip came into my life. Like, I just wanted to say that because I think that if you are so narrow-minded that you're only looking for one race when it comes to love, I feel like you might miss out on your chance of like true love because
that's true.
You just wanted a white guy, or you just wanted a black guy, or you just wanted a Hispanic guy. To me, people are people, and it doesn't matter what color they are. Love is love. So that question that I asked you, like, what made you decide to marry outside of your race? For me, I married outside of my race because you just happened to be the person that I fell in love with. I remember when we got together, some of the people in my family were kind of like shocked, and my sister was like that. She was like, this doesn't really surprise me because she basically just said, how she said it was, Tish is a really sweet person. And she said Tish is, she just wants someone to love her. Philip could have been purple or blue. It doesn't matter. If he treated her good, she would have talked to him. And she's right. And that's how I've been my entire life. And another question I get asked is if I only date white guys. Philip was actually the first white guy that I had ever actually dated. So
this is true.
Yeah, everyone before Philip was black. So yeah. Because I get asked that question a lot too.
Oh no, me on the other hand, I have before me and her got together, I could probably successfully say out of the majority of the different races that are out there, from Native American to Hispanic to white, black, even Asian, of some form of Asian descent, I had dated. I had been in some form of relationship with, or had some form of relationship with them. So I was very diverse when it came to stuff to begin with. So that stuff to me it wasn't like I was like, oh, I only can, be with this certain type of woman or whatever. With me, it was more like, hey, whatever makes me happy, that's what I'm going to do. And being a white guy from South Georgia, growing up around a lot of people had the mentality that, dating outside your race or marrying outside your race was, not tradition. I really didn't care about that kind of stuff. That stuff is like not really me. Like I was like, I don't care. Because I wasn't like the traditional kind of guy anyway to begin with. So
it was pretty much the same thing for me. But see, the difference between you and I is you were always attracted to black girls. I was just like attracted to like all dudes, really.
I mean, I was attracted to all females, but if I had to say, to me, in my opinion, which one I thought looked the prettiest, it would have been like, a black woman or a black girl, or some form of like, mostly just black girls or like an Hispanic girl. I was never really into a lot of the white girls, and it's not saying that, white girls are bad or anything like that. I'm not bashing, my own race or anything. What I'm saying is, just where I grew up at, everybody acted a certain way. Black girls were one way, Hispanic girls were one way, white girls were one way. And with
you grew up in a really small place.
Yeah, and with the selection that I had,
being in the country.
Yeah, I didn't want to date any of the white girls based off of what I had. I mean, well, really anybody from where I was at. Every time I would really get into a relationship, like an actual dating, true relationship.
Everybody knew everybody. Yeah, everybody dated everybody.
They were always like outside of my hometown. Like they were either from like Augusta, Georgia, or like from Savannah, or like Hinesville, or all these different places that they were driving distance from me, maybe like an hour
Yeah, like
away.
You didn't want anybody within your area because everybody had dated them. So, yeah.
And I mean, and she says that because I have some friends back home that they've all dated each other at some point.
Yeah. It is like the weirdest thing.
And it's crazy because years later, this person's now married to this person, and this person's married to this person. But like 7 years ago, this person was married to the other person that's now married to this person.
It's that bad. Like, it sounds
crazy,
but it's like, it's that bad.
And now, like, they're not related. Well, what I'm saying is no brother and sisters are marrying each other. What I'm saying is, like right now, I have 3 guys I grew up with. 2 of them are brothers, and one of them's just a really close friend to them. But they're all dating some like fit girls from another family that are all related. Like the 2 brothers are dating 2 sisters.
Yeah, and they're dating her cousin.
And then my really, really good close friend, which is basically my brother, Jeffrey, he is dating their cousin.
Yeah.
And the oldest brother, the 2 brothers, the oldest one has a child now with the oldest sister.
Babe, okay. Off topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you would be sitting here telling that story all day because
it'll have you scratching
it's a long
your heads.
one. Yeah.
It'll have you scratching your heads.
Basically, we decided to marry outside of our race, not because we were particularly like looking to marry someone outside of our race. It was because we fell in love with each other.
Basically.
So the moral of the story is
you love who you're going to love, and you can't change that. Nobody should be able to change it. If you ever find yourself in a predicament where someone in your family, close friends, relatives, whoever says, oh, you shouldn't do that because that's not right, ask yourself one question: who are they to say what is right, and who are they to tell you what is happiness?
Yeah, do what makes you happy. Don't let anyone try to persuade you to do otherwise, because at the end of the day, you may not be truly happy unless you have... At the end of the day, you're not going to be truly happy unless you follow your heart. So...
Yeah, and it's funny what she's saying is, because you never know. some of those same family members that are telling you that it's not traditional and they acting all funny about it, years later, one of their children or their friends may go into the exact same thing you did, because that's what recently has happened in my family on my dad's side. Nobody had ever been outside the race. I was the first one to ever do it. I was the first one to ever bring.
And you got the weird looks.
Everyone was like, they're like that Southern style type, like they'll smile and nod and kind of thing. But
now who is it your cousin or?
But my dad's brother, my Uncle Jerome, one of his sons, I think not the oldest, I think it's the next to the oldest. So he's one of my cousins, Colin. Or it might be like my second cousin, like one of his grandkids. I don't know. I have a big family on my dad's side, like really big.
Yeah.
Just recently got married to a black girl from my hometown, and my dad was.
Which is funny because she actually looks a lot like me, you guys.
Yeah.
I said the two men have a type because she looks like almost identical to me.
Yeah. But what's funny about that is my uncle, my Uncle Jerome, the ones whose son or grandson married a black female now, was one of the first people to give me that like funny look when I brought my wife around, and he would like make little like hidden jokes, like he'd say something and chuckle about it, but like, come on dude, I know what you're saying. But in the day, it's just funny to me that years later, like a good 10 years later, 10 and a half, years later, here, one of his, direct descendants is doing the same thing. And it's like, yeah, because I always joke around. I tell people,
and he's supportive. So you never know what your relationship, gosh, what's up with my throat today? You never know what your relationship will do for other people. Like how you following your heart may help other people to follow theirs.
Yeah, because like I was saying, she would, my dad's side of the family, they accepted my decision, but like I said, I was always different than how they were. Mm-hmm. But it's funny that, who knows, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to go ask this question and be like, hey, was I the reason you decided to go on out your race? Like, it's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like that'd be an inappropriate question to ask. But you never know. Your decisions could let somebody else, give them the courage to go.
You just repeated what I said.
Yeah, give them the courage to go do it.
I love you.
I love you too.
Well, we wanted to sit down and like just do this little video because of the fact that we get these questions all the time, like what made you decide to marry outside of your race and different things like that. And basically the bottom line is we just decided to follow our heart, and that's it. That's it for that question. That's what we did. And we have been together for 10 years now, and I wouldn't change anything for the world because I love my husband.
Yep.
Love me? Mm-hmm. You're supposed... That was your cue. You missed it.
Oh. Love you.
I don't want it. You can... As always, we love you to a fam, and we will see you in another video. Bye. What are you doing?